Hey, what's up everybody? This is HD and I'm coming at you guys with a highly anticipated replay. I know a lot of people have been bugging me and asking me left and right for this replay. This is my game against QxC from MLG at Anaheim. I know it's late, it's a couple of months over, but it's better late than never. I recently found out that they released the replays for Anaheim yesterday actually, as I was sorting through for some good MLG replays, and I found my game against QxC, so here it is guys. Now, I'm not going to be casting the entire series because I'm just going to tell you guys what happened in the first game. I basically got dropped by Marines and Hellions and I died. Pretty much within 10 minutes, so I didn't think it was that good of a game. I don't know if you guys wanted to see it or not, but this game was game 2. It was winners round 1 in the open bracket, and I'm very excited to be able to bring this to you guys. So here it is. VP as my old clan, HD Gamer, I'm now on xSix of course, versus FXO.QxC. Already exchanging a couple of words here. Oh, the reason why we were saying this is because the crowd was cheering and people were going like, whoa, yeah, man, as we were playing, and we were like super distracted by it. So, yes, that's why we were talking about that. Anyways, guys, this gives me an opportunity to talk about a little partnership I have going on with GameCom Plantronics. First of all, as you guys know, I helped them organize a tournament and casted the epic replays of the week for them a couple of months ago. I know you guys remember that, and just a few days ago I released a League of Legends announcement for them. This is a good opportunity for me to tell you guys about a new partnership I have where a couple of times a month I'm going to be releasing a special replay of the week once again. Now, this isn't from any tournament or anything like that. This is just going to be a GameCom Plantronics, with an M, Plantronics sponsored replay. So that's why you guys see the GameCom Plantronics sponsored replay image in the bottom right. And this is just a way for us to kind of help each other out. I'm plugging them and they're going to drive some traffic to my channel and everything. So I hope you guys support them in every way possible. And as a special little bonus for you guys who are watching this replay, if you guys go to facebook.com/ I'm just alt tabbing right now, facebook.com/GameCom Faceoff, and go follow their Facebook page and answer a couple of questions about this specific replay right here. They're going to ask you guys a couple of questions on their Facebook page. If you guys answer it correctly, then you guys get a chance at their GameCom Plantronics headset, which is like a $100 headset. It's basically a free prize giveaway for anybody who goes in there and can answer the questions on Facebook correctly. So if you guys get a chance, the information will be in the more description section down below. Just go follow their Facebook, go check out their website. Their website is GameCom.Plantronics.com, and their Facebook is facebook.com/GameComFaceoff. And I think they'll ask you questions like, you know, I don't know, did HD steal a gas on the extractor? Which the answer would be yes. And it'll just be really easy questions like that, just to see if you guys actually watch the replay. And, you know, they're giving away free headsets, man. Go sign up for it. Go follow them on Facebook and go support them. So I'll be doing this probably twice a month. So we'll be giving away headsets for every single game. And there'll be 2 replays a month that'll be sponsored by GameCom Plantronics. Great guys out there. Love you guys. So that's that. Anyways, let's get back to this game at hand. So I'm over here as the Red Zerg player, of course. I'm Powder and Malter. I'm in the bottom right. I'm already down 0-1 in this series, which, you know, I lost basically to a Hellion drop, and I was pretty upset about that. So going into game 2, obviously I'm a little bit behind. And I've got to, you know, play my A game here if I want to put up a good fight against FXO.QxC. Remember, prior to this game, QxC all killed Incredible Miracle. And Incredible Miracle has players like Nesty, MVP, who is arguably the best player in the world right now, the 2 best players in the world. So QxC was pretty much running hot at this moment. And, you know, I was shaking in my boots, man. I was scared. QxC's really good. So I was definitely a little concerned. Anyways, I did get the inkling that he was going for starport at this moment in the game, and the reason for that was because, you know, he had 1 gas over here and he sent all of his Marines to kill the extractor over here. So to me, I kind of felt like he really wanted that second gas, and it's a good thing I went with my spider senses on that, because he did. He was basically going for cloak banshees on me. So it was a good thing that I kind of had that inkling and I decided to get the spore crawler. So I got the Evo chamber and I got a spore at each one of my hatcheries. I think the other reason why I kind of realized that he was going for air is because he didn't really have that many Marines at his front door, and he actually didn't have a factory here. So certainly a little bit bold here, a little bit crazy for QxC. So he's going for the Hellion and Banshee opening here, which is actually really, really hard to stop because you've got to have enough Zerg units to deal with the ground forces, and that means Zerglings or Roaches or Queens and Spine Crawlers. At the same time, you've got to have your anti-air defense up, and thankfully, I did have a Spore Crawler in the back, and I was able to keep that Banshee away from my mineral line, but he was doing some pretty good work here, at least delaying my creep spread, keeping me on the back foot, and you know, as a Terran player, you should always do this against a Zerg. Keep the Zerg on the back foot, don't let them drone up, you know, get in their face, show them who's boss, and that's what QxC was doing. He was, you know, keeping me on the back foot, but thankfully, he hadn't killed that many drones yet. And at this point, you know, I decided, I've got all these Zerglings on the ground, and I think I'm pretty safe against 3 or so Hellions at the front door. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for a run by, and thankfully, QxC did not have any control over the Xel'Naga Tower. So he had no clue this was coming, and he didn't bother to wall off the front door. So this was pretty much my opening to get in there and make something happen. And here comes all my Zerglings, and unfortunately for QxC, the door was not lifted up. He didn't even have a door there, actually. And so my Zerglings get up in the money and get us around on the Marines. And at this point, really, it's all going to come down to micro. You gotta send the Zerglings to deal with the Hellions, and you gotta leave a couple in the mineral line. So you guys can see, I'm trying to micro as best as I can right now and make as much happen. But of course, at the same time, I'm losing some larva here to this random Banshee. But it looks like eventually I was able to kill off that Hellion inside the main, and now it's free pickings for the SCVs, and I'm able to kill off a good 14 SCVs with my Zergling run by. So it certainly pays off in the highest dividends, and I still have a Zergling alive here. I think, no, it doesn't get that last SCV kill, but I was able to do some pretty good work against QxC, and just like that, I am in a huge lead at this game. It's currently 36 over 19 workers. Well, maybe I'm not at a huge lead, but I'm certainly a little bit ahead of QxC right now after that great Zergling run by. And you know, honestly, I was a little lucky. I was lucky that QxC didn't wall off his front door. I was lucky he decided to open for Banshees, and I was lucky I guessed it right. So I guess the cards kind of fell in the right favor for me, for me to be able to, you know, pull off that W in terms of the run by and killing as many SCVs as I did. And right now, QxC actually trying to shut that wall off a little bit more now. I think there may still be an I don't know if a Zergling can fit between that or not. It's a little slim, but I don't know. Anyways, I do have more Zerglings running across the middle of the field right now, and at this point in the game, it's very important to make sure you have control over the Xel'Naga Towers, so that's why I was sending my Zerglings out, but unfortunately QxC was on the same page. He realized that he needed control over the middle of the map, and so he's leaving his Banshees out there. But I did get a Spire, and I did go ahead and go right into Mutas. Note, our APM here is extremely high, and the reason for that is because this is pre-patch. This is pre-patch 1.4, so the APM wasn't reflecting efficient APM at this point, at this moment in the game. But I did have Mutalisks out right now, and, you know, a healthy number. And, you know, I usually go Mutas and Lings against Terran. The fact that QxC went for Banshees anyways in the beginning of the game just further prompted me to get Mutalisks out. Obviously, Mutas are great against Banshees. Banshees can't fight back against other air units, and Mutas can kind of kill them really easily. So I did have some Mutas on the field at this moment in the game, having a quick run by here. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention. There we go, pulling my Mutas in, and more SCVs biting the dust. So at this moment in the game, 18 workers killed, 3 mules as well, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling pretty healthy at this moment in the game. QxC checking for a potential third. Unfortunately, no third to be found, and I was just basically running my Mutalisks around the map, trying to find openings to do some more damage. Looks like I'm gonna lose 1 Muta. No! Wow, I got my Mutas out of there without any of them dying. So that was certainly, you know, something that I could take away from this game. Getting in there and killing off a couple extra meals. It's always devastating if a Terran player loses their initial meals, and that's very important to do if you're Zerg. If you see a meal that's been freshly dropped, pick it off. You know, that's 270 minerals that they will not have if you can kill it off. So it's always a good idea to pick those things off and do as much damage as possible. Right now, QxC is doing a decent job of, you know, getting back into this game. It looks like he's transitioning back into standard biomech. Well, he's getting Blue Flame Hellions and bios, so he's certainly going with a couple of different tech routes here. And he's also making sure that he's got good missile turret coverage all over his bases. So at this point, I'm not sure why I decided to fall back and not be more aggressive. I might end up picking up a Banshee here because I sent an Overseer in there, so that's good. But I'm not sure why I wasn't more aggressive. Ah, that's why. So it looks like I'm going to go for a double expand here. Getting an expansion down at the 6, also getting a macro hatchery, and it looks like I'm also going to get this expansion over here as well. So I'm getting pretty bold with the expansions. Certainly playing a very conservative game I am. And oh no, that wasn't good. So I lost a free Overseer right there. But it looks like I'm going to be able to pick off a free Tech Lab. This is what you really want to do. Theoretically, the perfect Zerg is always attacking with his Mutalisk. He's always coming in there and doing damage whenever possible, all the while grabbing expansions. Obviously, you know, I'm not that good. I'm more of like the, okay, I'm going to expand now, and then I'm going to harass. Then I'm going to expand. I can't do both at the same time. It's very difficult to pull off. But looks like QxC here, making his presence known in the middle of the field, coming out with a couple of Blue Flame Hellions, also moving out across the middle of the map with quite a few forces, and this is really the perfect time for QxC to be moving out. Really, I just grabbed 3 hatcheries, essentially. I may have actually overkilled it. I was talking to Pain User afterwards, and he was saying, you know, you kind of overdid it here. You didn't need to get so many hatcheries, since QxC is still only on 2 bases. So I feel like I may have overkilled it a bit here, and QxC hitting a great timing window, pushing out as I was getting those hatcheries. My Banelings aren't even ready yet, but will they be ready in time? Oh, yes! Yes, they were. I must seem like an idiot now just answering my own question, but this game was played quite a while back, and I totally forgot what this game was like. So that was kind of cool. I got my Banelings out just in the nick of time. A lot of times, when Terran players see Banelings morphing in the middle of the map, they will take the risk of killing off the Baneling eggs because you know, Banelings actually take a long time to morph out. Unfortunately, that time QxC attacked when the Banelings were almost ready, and I don't think he was paying attention to his army as the Banelings were morphing out. So he lost a good chunk of his army, and now I'm at 142 supply over 100. So. And I'm at 676 drones as well, so things are actually looking pretty bright for me. We'll just have to see if I can continue this up or not. I hear a Banshee shooting somewhere, I'm not entirely sure where. But looks like QxC is sending a small Marine task force down to the 6 o'clock. And unfortunately for me, I didn't have any Zelnaga towers down south, so I didn't realize this army was kind of moving out down south, and it looks like I might end up losing a pretty good chunk of my economy here. At the very least, my queen, unless I can pull everything back and save it in time. QxC with a quick stim here, he's looking to kill as much drones as he possibly can. He's going to be able to pick off about 9 or 10, so pretty good blow by him to my economy. And now my hatchery taking a little bit of fire. I'm under a little bit of duress. But I should be able to clean this up without losing too much. Yeah, there we go. So, with that attack, I'm not sure if that was cost-effective or not, because he did lose a pretty big handful of Marines, and he didn't kill off the hatchery. So it was a bit of a trade-off for both sides. But anyways, at this point in the game as I was playing, I was kind of feeling like, you know, I'm doing a pretty decent job against a player that just all killed Incredible Miracle. So I was feeling pretty good about myself, but I know, you know, whenever you're playing against a pro gamer, especially if you get into the late game, you cannot get complacent. Pro gamers thrive in the late game. That's when they're best. That's when they are able to really spread their talents across multiple facets of the game, including macro, micro, build order, attention to detail, and all these little things that really make them shine in the late game when StarCraft is really multitasking you to the maximum of your limits. So I was not getting complacent. I realized that I needed to keep my foot on the gas pedal. I couldn't let myself get lethargic. And so here we go. I'm moving in with a pretty large army here. That's a lot of Mutas and Banelings. But QxC with a quick stim here, is he going to be able to survive this battle? I don't even know, because I don't remember. This has been played like 3 months ago, so I'm truly excited to see what happens here. I don't really recall. Here comes the Banelings. I actually told him to run into the SCVs, and oh my god! Oh, wow! 25 SCVs killed, so total. So actually I didn't really kill off that many workers. I thought I killed off a lot more. But it looks like QxC also throwing down a PDG here as well. A little interesting choice of placement. I guess he was pretty concerned about the Mutalisks that were flying in, and of course PDD is very good against point defense drones. But yeah, once again I am falling back with my Mutas, and this I think was my biggest mistake now that I'm looking back at this game. I was just talking about keeping my foot on the gas pedal. Damn, if there's ever a time to keep my foot on the gas pedal, now would have been the time. Look at all those SCVs. They were red barred. Holy good God, that's a lot of red barred SCVs. If I had just continued attacking, I probably would have been able to crush him. And I'm not entirely sure why. Oh no, I'm going to lose my Mutalisks here now. What am I doing? Oh God, I'm just going to lose all my mutas. I'm not sure what that was all about. And I'm not sure why my supply isn't a lot larger. Once again, I'm double expanding. Wow. So I just going macro crazy. But for some odd reason, my gas is not looking too good this game. And I kind of realized that at this point. That's why I sent more drones onto gas. But my gas intake was just absolutely horrible. I've got 1,500 minerals, so much surplus minerals. I had to throw down the extra hatcheries. But my gas is just not looking all that primo at all. And QxC here with another deadly push into the middle of the map. Now, I am trying to tech up to Hive into Ultralisk Cavern, but I'm not even sure I'm going to pull that off without enough gas. And it looks like QxC is pushing into the middle of the field here with a pretty decent-sized army. Am I going to have enough to deal with this? There are some more Mutalisks out there on the field. But, wow, I'm legitly, guys, I am casting this game just like a high-level game that I have never seen before. I mean, honestly, I don't recall this game at all. This has been so many months ago that to me, it's like watching two players that I've never seen play before. So I'm genuinely excited about this game, and I hope you guys can kind of tell in my voice. Very, very interesting game so far. Let's see if I can pull this off. It looks like I was going for a surround into the middle of the field, and I will do this pretty often. If the Terran player sets up shop into the middle of the field, it's always a good opportunity to get the flank, surround all his units into the middle, and it looks like I was able to pull it off here. And I was able to kill off most of his tanks, so a pretty good victory for me in that regard. As, you know, anytime you can kill off all the tanks in the middle of the field, you should be able to pull pretty far ahead of the Terran player. But I didn't make any Banelings here, and it looks like QxC continuing to mount pressure on me. Am I going to have enough Zerglings to deal with this? My Zerglings lacking upgrades, just have 0 Carapace and 1 upgrade on melee. The Marines actually at 2-2. So these Marines are pretty beefy, guys, and that's pretty scary. I don't think I'm going to have enough Lings to deal with this. The stim does wear off on the Marines, so maybe I will. And it looks like I'm going to once again be able to push QxC all the way back to his base, but a missile turret there in the background should be able to repel my attack. And QxC able to hold down the fort once again. Speaking of holding down the fort, he's getting Terran building armor and high-sec auto-tracking, so he is definitely going to be holding down forts with his planetary fortress pretty soon. But, you know, at this point, I'm still pretty gas-starved. And looking back at this game, gosh, I really wish I had just... There we go. I really wish I had done that sooner. Get my gases, because if we pull up the income tab right here, my gas intake is barely better than QxC's. 600 gas and 400 gas, so I'm really not that far ahead of my opponent QxC at all. Pretty sad. But I do have a pretty large Mutaflock right now, and I'm trying to get Ultralisks out. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to get them, considering my low gas. We'll have to see if I get some gas down here to the bottom left. I do have some Mutalisks flying into the top left right now. And, you know, at this point I was kind of thinking to myself, it's a good opportunity to fly in with mutas and do damage. Obviously, as a Zerg, if you have Mutalisks, you want to fly in and do as much damage as possible. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to pick off some SCVs and stuff here or there, but I don't know why I decided to fly that away. That was definitely flying over hostile airspace. And so I lost a huge chunk of my mutas right there for absolutely no reason. That's why. I saw some SCVs transferring, and I told my mutas to go attack that group. That is a clump of 24 SCVs or so. Or 8 times 2, 16 SCVs. So I was trying to deflect that expansion, or deflect the main art of SCVs, but that ended up costing a lot of my mutas. But anyways, at this point, you know, it looks like QxC is getting his 4th, and that is not good for a Zerg player. You do not want to ever let a Terran player secure the 4th expansion, because at that point, it really doesn't matter how far ahead you are. The Terran is just going to have an indefinite supply of Marines. And so I kind of realized I was letting QxC back into this game despite me being ahead in supply. I needed to make something happen here, and that is not what I need. So thankfully I did run my mutas away, and now I'm running in with my Lings and Blings. QxC with a brilliant marine spread. Look at that marine spread, guys. The splitting all the marines apart, and my baneling's never quite able to hit the mark, and QxC now conglomerating his marine ball back into one again after the great spread, able to keep most of his forces alive. And at that point I realized, holy crap, QxC is back in it, and if anything, he is ahead right now. So it didn't really matter that I had all these expansions all over the map. It didn't matter that, you know, I had done, you know, good harass and good killings of SCVs here or there. He had shop set up inside my side of the map, and so I had to run in here with everything I had. My banelings detonating on some of the marines, but QxC's once again superior marine spread, able to mitigate that damage, and now elevating everything into his medevacs. And I realized that, and I was like, whoop, time to run away. So I did kind of excavate the area, but QxC with a great drop over my hatchery, and so many marines dropping right in range of my spire and baneling nest. So at this point, I was under a lot of trouble. And it's a bit sad now that I look back at this replay. I never even got one Ultra Scout, and that's just because my gas intake is poor at this game. So I guess one lesson to learn from looking at this game, there's a GG for me. One lesson to learn from looking at this game: please make sure you have enough gas if you're going to go for Ultralisk. And please make sure in the late game you get your extractors up, especially if you're playing against a player like QxC. So my hat's off to QxC for winning that game. I believe he went on to win multiple rounds ahead of me after that. I was dropped down to the losers bracket, and the next day I lost to 0-2 to some no-namer. I was just so pissed off. No, actually I lost 0-2 to a pretty good guy down there as well, but I felt like I put up a decent fight against QxC this game. I hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast, because I know a lot of people have been meaning to see it. Once again, this is the GameCom with an M as in M&M's, Plantronics tournament, excuse me, not tournament, but Epic Replay of the Week. I'll be doing 2 of these a month. If you guys could support them, please do. Go to Facebook.com/GameComFaceoff and answer a couple of questions on their Facebook page. If you guys answer it correctly, you guys will get a shot at their $100 headset. And there will be a link down below this video if you guys want to see what that headset looks like. It's a $100 headset, so please do support them. Please do check them out. I'll be doing 2 of these a week. I'll see you guys next time. This is HD, signing out.